But here's something that we can say for sure. Germany is looking at a tough winter and Germans are blaming their leader for this. Chancellor Olaf Scholz is facing a backlash, and a pretty dramatic one at that. Recently, he was at a public meeting. Some people approached him for a photograph. What happened next caught Scholz completely off guard. Watch this. Like I said, dramatic. Come to think of it, it's not surprising though. He was chosen by his party to replace Angela Merkel, and it did not help that he took over just before Europe went to war. So the voters seem to have rejected him. They're unhappy with Scholz's government. A new survey says only 25% Germans feel that Olaf Scholz is doing a good job, which leaves a whopping 75% who are not impressed. Experts say if elections were to be held today in Germany, Olaf Scholz would lose. He was the mayor of Hamburg 8 months back. He was made the German chancellor, and he's still not been able to find his footing. Germany is on the brink of recession. Russia is waging a gas war on them. Supplies have been hit. A difficult winter lies ahead. And Scholz is trying to survive in office by resolving the energy crisis. He's hoping that Canada will help. Yesterday, the German Chancellor began a visit to Canada. He's there to sign a deal to establish hydrogen supply chains, also to discuss the possibility of buying Canadian LNG. LNG is liquefied natural gas. Now, Scholz will be in Canada for 3 days. He will visit 3 provinces, 3 cities, Montreal, Toronto, and Newfoundland. He's traveling with a large business delegation, including CEOs of companies like Volkswagen and Siemens. So Olaf Scholz is pulling out all stops. But can he deliver? Will this visit end Germany's energy crisis this winter? The answer is no. There is no chance. Canada and Germany have no infrastructure in place to transport gas. You need pipelines. They don't have any. And you cannot build pipelines overnight. Perhaps by next winter, Germany may get Canadian gas. But this year, this winter, they'll have to depend on the Russians. And that means preparing for tough times ahead. Germany must begin saving gas now. It must cut gas usage by 20% right now for it to be able to survive this winter. And that's proving to be an uphill task. Because to save gas, you need enough supplies in the first place. And there isn't enough supply. Russia is leveraging gas. It is punishing Germany for backing Western sanctions. Russia has cut gas supplies by almost 80%. And that's a big blow to Germany. Germany gets almost half of its natural gas from Russia. It is operating on 20% of that supply. That's not enough to meet the current requirements. Forget about saving. Saving gas is impossible right now. And this shortage is affecting businesses in Germany. The country is being pushed towards a recession. The economy has already stagnated. In the second quarter of this financial year, Germany saw no growth. Their quarterly GDP was 0 in July. Berlin can see the writing on the wall. Listen to the assessment of the German finance ministry. I'm quoting from what they said. The lower gas supplies from Russia, the persistently high price increases for energy and increasingly other goods, as well as the longer than expected supply chain disruptions, also in connection with China's zero COVID policy, are weighing heavily on development. So they're blaming global disruptions, and they have a point there. But all of this is adding to Germany's woes. This is a worry, not just for Berlin, but also for Brussels. You see, Germany is the engine for Europe's growth. It is Europe's largest economy, and right now it is proving to be Europe's weakest link. 4 economies drive growth in Europe: Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. All 4 of them are in trouble. The IMF, or the International Monetary Fund, has downgraded growth forecasts for all of these 4 countries. But guess which country suffered the biggest downgrade? Germany. It is now projected to grow at 0.8% in 2023. Earlier, the IMF had projected 1.9% growth for Germany. This is the biggest downgrade for any country in the world. It is also humiliating for Germany. The citizens blame Chancellor Olaf Scholz for all of this. Last week, he was heckled at a rally. He was called a liar and a traitor. Yes, Scholz's voice was completely drowned out by the protesters, even when he was promising tax reliefs on gas payments. A crisis, in fact, is a true test for any leader, and Olaf Scholz is not faring very well in that test. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.